Okay, how am I supposed to do this here? Okay. So, we just had about a good couple of weeks where we had scat, we had more scat, we had a much more mountain full of scat, a much more miniature size of scat, and we had a break where we didn't believe that we were going to have any scat at all. But in come more scat. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Season 6, Episode 10 of the phenomenon known to mankind and all wrestling fans alike as Saturday afternoon's main event. If you do not know who I am, I suggest, income Triple H voice, you go to school, go into your library, find the biggest dictionary you can find, and look me up under the word phenomenal. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the Phenomenal One, and of course I'm not joined alone here on Saturday afternoon's main event, because of course I'm joined by the limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing son of a gun, who is not having a hard time holding his alligators down. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, give me 2 claps and a peep snatch. There we go.
Yes, right from the precipice of the tropical storm that is Ophelia, that is chopping on chest everybody along the East Coast.
Peeps,
we are here
peeps,
for those.
Peeps. Slow down, bud. Slow down. You see, you said precipice of the storm. I believe the storm is going through right now because for some reason you're going in and out, bud. I don't.
Oh.
They're starting already, and we were perfectly fine before. Why?
Yes.
Only here on Saturday afternoon's main event, right?
Yeah.
I mean, have mercy. Have mercy. Look, it's all right. It's okay. We'll figure it out, peeps. If anything, just, join in, join back out. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It happens. I know. So just do that. And it will, there we go. Okay. Guys, welcome to Saturday afternoon's main event. As you may know, there has been a lot that has happened in the world of pro wrestling in the past couple of weeks that we've been gone. It's been insane. Here comes Peeps Nate back. Peeps, can you hear me now? Can you go ahead and speak perfectly fine? And
okay.
Good. You're great.
There
Amen.
we go.
Have
now
mercy.
let's make sure that it stays that way. I tell you, the storm is trying to mess with everybody's signal. Go figure.
Exactly. Hot Rod's in the chat. Hot Rod says this. You're still on the air. I thought YouTube wishes you and Peeps best wishes in your future endeavors in your cheap ass Wi-Fi. Speaking of that, I heard that there was a certain familiar birthday this past week, right? I may be wrong. Well, as a little birdie told me, that it was the birthday of a person that calls himself the Peasants of Peasants. A person that calls himself the Hot Roos. A man specifically defines himself in the comment section of Saturday afternoon's main event. So if anything, Rodney P, Hot Rod, happy birthday. You SOB. I'm playing. Ball-headed SOB. As a matter of fact, I'm just kidding. But much love, man. We appreciate you being a listener and a fan. We appreciate your love in the comment section, although it's never love. It's just plain stupidity. Sometimes I wish I could just...
And it borders on boiling hate sometimes.
Yes. Boiling hate. Peeps, you're not even wrong. You're not even wrong.
There
sometimes
you go.
I wish I could just reach through the screen virtually, just... But I digress. First one.
We got the first one already.
And it doesn't even come from wrestling. How nice.
Yes.
But happy birthday, Hot Rod. We hope you enjoyed
Yes,
it. We
happy
hope you
birthday.
downed a lot of Grey Goose. Complimentary of anybody that went ahead and sent you any alcohol, so you're good on that.
Or your favorite soft drink for those that are not old enough to drink.
Favorite soft drink. Or
There you go.
in other words, adult iced tea.
There you go. There you go.
There we go. But with that being said, guys, we appreciate you guys going ahead and listening to us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube live right now. If you're not listening live, you're probably listening later. We appreciate you still. Of course, the love is always here when it comes to Saturday afternoon's main event. We appreciate you guys each and every single way, shape, or form that you support us. A lot of good things have been happening for us. We went ahead and just hit the marker, peeps, for accounts reached in the span of a month with 100,000 people going ahead and going in on Instagram. It has been insane. I'm loving it. We hit 350 followers this past yesterday. For God's sake, business is booming, but not for the street. Yes. We'll get into that later.
Oh, boy.
But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into good news. And, of course, when you hear that, it means one thing and one thing only. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Wrestling Crash Course. P, shall we begin? Okay.
Let's do it.
First one of the day. Crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Jade Cargill might be on her way to World Wrestling Entertainment. Where the hell did this happen? Peeps, you ever seen that one Chowder episode on Cartoon Network? And nothing can go wrong.
Yes.
It all went wrong.
Yes.
Of course, there have been several reports. There have been so many reports that there are people backstage in AEW who are tired of how they're booked, don't like the way that they are being put in storylines. They're not liking their bookings, nothing like that. It's shocking enough, but not to hear that there were several names thrown into the box where, Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks. How insane can that be? Andrade, and then Jade. And you're like, you know what? They're just throwing names out there. And then we watch Rampage last week. And Jade Cargill has probably one of her better matches on the card.
I would honestly say that it was probably the best match that she's had since she was in AEW.
Yes.
I can go and say that against Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. That was a really good match.
Definitely. And, of course, the rumblings were that she left and this, that, and the third. And, you're just like, oh, damn. And if you don't read the dirt sheets, you wouldn't know what happened on Rampage due to the fact that it was taped. But we have to say still, peeps, the fact that I didn't read it, and I still didn't want to believe it as well. And she had that still of a match. And then the minute I saw that she got pinned, I was like, she did the honors of going out on her back. So she is gone. And then AEW actually shows her hugging Chris Statlander.
Yes.
I said to myself, so what they're saying is true.
Not only was she hugging Chris Statlander, she was openly sobbing on her shoulder as she gave her. It was a long, I say like a 30-second embrace. Yes. She was probably saying something to her, and you could see both of them were emotional because Chris Statlander coming off of tearing her ACL for the second time. And now she's been healthy enough to be able to resume her career. And Jade Cargill coming off of taking time off for that one match. And then to have that match, she lost. And then to see her openly sobbing in the arms of Chris Statlander, you could tell it was an emotional day for her. And she did have a speech after the show, which kind of leans into the rumors that were going on of Jade potentially heading up north.
Peeps, please tell me you hear me.
I can hear you.
Jeez. They hate us. They hate us today. They hate us today.
It's a Vince McMahon Ophelia tag team. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that has to be what it is.
Yes, it is.
Peeps, now with that being said, they've implemented news that there might be filing a trademark for a name, Jada Parker, which I may think it might be for talent in NXT. That's what we've probably been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of catchphrases, a couple of taglines. fine, no problem. But for me, it just makes sense. It's her real name, you know. Just maybe Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, maybe on an episode of SmackDown, Hurt Business, booming, add Bianca Belair to the mix. Instead of going after singles gold, she goes after tag team gold. And instead of having Alba Fire and, Isla Dawn, which I have to say, they're doing good. And the fact that they're doing what I said they would be doing, and that is saying, oh, we're putting a curse on the tag titles. That's why everybody keeps getting it. Peeps.
It seems like that curse is legit.
Exactly. So it's like now, we fast forward all that, and if Bianca might be looking for a tag team partner. Peeps. I mean, you have the strongest, the fastest, the toughest, the quickest, the best.
Yes.
And then you have a beast of Jade Cargill, which I have to say, as I said, we literally saw her greatest match just last week. So it means, the tide will have to change. There'll have to be more improvement. There will, just blockbuster attraction. Because for me, I have to see the Hurt Business implode, and I have to see Bianca and Jade go at it for the women's title at WrestleMania. Yeah, peeps, for God's sakes.
Yes.
2 African-American women in the main event of WrestleMania is best for business. We've seen it with Sasha Banks and Bianca. Why not once again? Those 2 women, I know for a fact, with their agility, the way that they can go ahead and actually tell a story, I know that the potential is there for Jade. Make it work. Yes. I would enjoy it. But another thing, they're saying Cody is the greatest non-booker in the history of the industry, and they say that because he's allowing sisters to come into the industry again. And not only that, they're saying that was the trade capital for Jey Uso.
Wow.
So you know what? Screw the people. I can't stand them. I'm done.
Wow.
But yes, Jade Cargill might be on her way to WWE. We might see her in the next coming months. We're hearing that, there are reports that they are starting to make stories for her, whatever the case may be. So, there's that. So,
and there was always reports that she was already spotted at the Performance Center within the last couple of days. So maybe that there's something along those lines, if they can confirm it or not. I think we know the route in which she's going for her career. And I think that as long as they can trim the edges off to make sure that she is a little bit better in ring, because she's still, even 3 years in, a little bit green on certain things. They tried to get her to do moves off the ropes, which you could tell she wasn't comfortable doing. So that's something that they're going to work on. But in general, the Philly fans, if let's say she's in the company by WrestleMania, I think the Philadelphia fans would really take to Jade Cargill. She has the look. She has the physique. The only thing that she's going to need to do is change her catchphrase. She can't tell people to cut the
that
X.
She is.
Yes.
She is that.
Yes. She is that person.
That person, ladies and gentlemen, because we can't see the informal version of a female dog on national television.
You know what would be cool if she said, "I am her." If she was to come out and say something like that, honestly, I just gave you a catchphrase, Jade.
It works. I
am her.
Perfect. Her. Just her. That works perfectly fine. That works perfectly fine for me.
Yes, there you go.
From that news, we move into WWE news and SmackDown news. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE has signed a $1.4 billion deal with the USA Network for 5 years on the televised rights to SmackDown starting this October. So no more Fox, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the precipice of some of the last weeks of this deal. And this also means that Raw and NXT aren't safe as well, because they might be moving away from USA due to the fact of this deal being this big. So that leaves us with what, peeps? Raw being on ESPN2 during Monday Night Football, and NXT being on ESPNU.
Oh boy! Do you know how much money that? First and foremost, I don't think ESPN is willing to spend that kind of money on WWE after they spent so much money on Pat McAfee and some of the other things. And then, as the WWE has done, cut so many people and then follow it up by making a giant acquisition. So I think ESPN would kind of be on the outskirts of a possibility because Disney, ESPN, there's money involved. They got ton of cachet and ton of clout and tons of eyeballs to showcase that if they do get to WWE. As far as the other players, I think if USA Network, which we all know is owned by NBC Universal, and the way that they have been ingratiated with the WWE over the last 3-4 decades, we're talking going back to the Saturday night's main events and then the other specials that they've done, and then moving the WWE Network to Peacock, and all of the other things that they've done, tribute to the troops and all of those kinds of deals. They have a working relationship with the parent company of NBC Universal. The other thing that added to this deal with SmackDown is that they're going to produce, I believe, 4 primetime specials with NBC, with the WWE, which will give them further a further portfolio, getting eyeballs to leverage their content toward those on over-the-air domestic television, which then they can use worldwide, probably putting it and streaming it to their streaming service Peacock as well. As far as Raw and NXT, would you want NXT to go back to being exclusive streaming? Would you want them to be the competition of AEW? Would you, obviously Raw is going to have some kind of regular television gig. I think if they're willing to pull it off, I don't know if they want to put that much money back into the USA Network after this $1.4 billion deal. But it would be interesting to have all of your wrestling on USA Network for Monday and Tuesday and Friday. Right. Because if you remember, SmackDown was on Sci-Fi Network, which is also a channel subsidiarily owned by NBC Universal. So, which is kind of weird to see wrestling on Sci-Fi Network, but
yeah, talk about it, people. Yeah, second one of the day. How nice.
Yes.
You know what? Here's what I can say. If it comes down to NXT, I mean, due to the fact that, you know, WWE is now with the UFC and they're now TKO Group Holdings, I wouldn't honestly mind if NXT went back to being exclusive. But not exclusive on Peacock because I hate that app. Exclusive on ESPN Plus. Make it work. You have the UFC that is already a powerhouse on ESPN, which it will either be on Tuesdays with, you know, having Fight Night on ESPN Plus and on, like, you know, the network as well. Either it be 2 or 1. But still, peeps, you know, NXT being NXT, you would expect it to be, okay, you know what, have it be like that. If you remember, having the network, having to watch NXT on the network when it came out, that's the only way that we deemed it fit possible, you know? It's only right that you would probably have it in the sense because now the merger with UFC, they would have some sort of the same, you know, type of deals when it comes to certain companies due to the fact that they're dealing with the same business people. So maybe ESPN might be in the works. But when it comes to Raw and when it comes to NXT, specifically Raw, I will have to say that it should either be NBC, like actually put it on NBC, due to the fact that Monday Night Football can be a counterpart. We know NBC and ABC might go ahead and go head-to-head. They would love to go head-to-head. Why not? So have Monday Night Raw, a flagship TV show, on NBC once again, as if it was Saturday afternoon's main event, or Saturday night's main event. I'm tripping. I mean, we are the better show. We are the better show.
Course.
Let's
be honest. Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes. Know your role. There you
know
go.
your role. Exactly. But hey, listen, Raw and NBC, fine by me. If they can make it happen, I'm all in with that. But please, I don't want to hear no We left Fox just to sign back with Fox, but now this time on Raw. Nah, I don't want to hear none of that, Jack. Okay?
Yeah.
Because the only way that I seem fit is putting it on a national scale on non-cable on satellite television for the world to see. So what better way to do that than by putting Raw on a channel that is locally televised to all that need it, and it's not cable driven? Fine, I'm all in with that. SmackDown, yes, we know the supply and the demand. We know how much people want to see SmackDown due to the fact that your biggest world champion is on it. Specifically, the guy that may be facing your world champion will be on it. The storylines are on it. LA Knight, another prominent figure now in the business, is on it. We get it. You'd have to put it on cable. But Raw, on the other hand, it's still growing. We still need that edge. We still need something to it.
And Raw is still, for all intents and purposes, their flagship A show, at least the way they treat the product.
True.
Although the perception is that SmackDown is the better show, but the promoted internal direction of all three of their shows for between NXT, Raw, and SmackDown is that Raw is their number one key show. You have to have it on as many eyeballs as possible. And I don't think putting it on a streaming service as far as that goes would help. Outside of the money aspect, where you're going to think that you're going to force eyeballs to that streaming service to get people to watch it. It's always been between USA Network, then it was on TNN/Spike TV, then it went back to the USA Network where it's been ever since. I think that the assumption is that it's going to always be on some kind of cable network, whether it's a sports network or a network that can use Monday Night Raw to bolster its ratings for Monday, knowing that the Monday, even as good as Raw can be, it's going to take a hit during football season because all TV takes a hit during football season. It's just inevitable. It's like, as Thanos would do, snap his fingers, I am inevitable. That's pretty much what it is. So you got to think with that mindset, knowing where we're going to get the most money and is going to benefit us the best monetarily, and then get the best output for those that are going to watch it without throwing off too many viewers' viewing habits. If they kept it all on USA Network, I think that would be the perfect thing to do. Because then you can say, well, USA, the exclusive home of the WWE, and then market that. They could do that as well. But that's a lot of money.
Hey, listen, who you telling, peeps? I mean, golly. Bring out the Brinks truck. Let me stop.
Yes.
Let me stop. But from there, we move to another piece of information for the world of WWE. Royal Rumble this January will be in Tampa, Florida, emanating from Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. And Elimination Chamber will now be emanating from Perth, Australia?
Yes.
Not even Melbourne or Sydney. Perth.
Yes.
And get this, guys. Yes. Saying that it's in Australia, which is, I believe, peeps, it's 12 or 14 hours ahead of us?
I believe so, yes.
So, guys, be prepared, because we will have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Elimination Chamber on a Saturday or Sunday. Peeps, which one?
Well,
if Friday. I don't even know.
Exactly. But see, the funny thing is, the WWE tried this before. If you remember back in, I believe it was 2012, when the network was starting out trying to figure themselves out as far as what they were going to do, and Brock Lesnar made his on TV debut. They did a house show called Beast from the East in Japan, where it was Brock versus, I believe, Big Show. So they've done that before. Now, they didn't show the entire show. It was just, I think it was one other match and then the Brock match. But an entire show. And
I remember. It was Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, NXT title.
Yes.
I may be wrong. Was it the NXT title or was it the USA title? Hold on.
See, now I have to look it up.
Now we have to look it up.
Now I have to look it up.
But But still, so like, yeah, they had that, and of course we had to be up early. But peeps, still, it's like, weren't we past this already, man? Like, honestly, like just being for real, like, weren't we past this? I mean, yes, I understand.
So we thought.
The much more national scale, we know that TKO wants to go ahead and do the whole thing of like, oh yeah, we have to be worldwide. But peeps, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Are you kidding me?
That is that. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And okay, the card, it was actually a 7-match card, but they only showed 2 matches. It was, let's see. Yeah, Finn Balor and Kevin Owens.
Finn Balor
and Brock, and when it was Brock versus Kofi Kingston.
That's exactly what it was. See, makes total sense.
Yes.
Have mercy. Have mercy.
Go figure.
Jesus. So, peeps, I'm just asking, are you prepared for that?
I guess I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to have a whole lot of iced tea and a lot of pizza rolls. But I think I can hack. I think I can do that.
I mean, I can hack it, but I'm just gonna have to down a lot of Red Bull. That's all.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, screw that.
Yes.
Have mercy. But peeps, can you imagine being up at 4? And if it's on Saturday, being up at 4, then having to do same later that day for us.
Oh, we're gonna be drained. I'll tell you that. We'll be drained, but we'll be amped.
Are we actually gonna do it, or are we canceling the show for that day? I didn't know that.
Well, I guess I think it would depend on how good the show is and how long the show is. Because if we're talking a 4-hour show at 4 a.m. and it's done at like 8, 9 o'clock on a Saturday, and then there's like, okay, my eyeballs hurt, So, well, you know what? As we get closer to it, we'll figure something out. But then I think that'll be something really interesting.
Definitely.
I'm sure there are a lot of wrestlers in the WWE that may be from Australia that would love to. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, God, pig.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not the one to pee in someone's cornflakes, but
you know what? I think you're right, because Rhea Ripley, she is from Australia. So
yes.
Yeah. So she fits the mold, Buddy Murphy is. Yes. Oh, wait.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
You know what? I digress. Next LA Knight is not with COVID, ladies and gentlemen. If you watch SmackDown, you would know that we were supposed to have a LA Knight sighting.
Yes.
And in that sighting, it was supposed to be that he is the next member for John Cena's title, John Cena's tag team match at Fastlane.
Yes.
Later next month. But he ended up catching COVID. So he might be out for a week, maybe out for, several, who knows? But we do know that the end result.
He actually found out literally half an hour before showtime.
Bro, right as he stepped in the building, man. Like, geez.
Oh, boy.
And I know people are probably getting tested right now. People are probably afraid. People are probably thinking about quarantining this, that, and the third. So it's just like, damn it. Like, how? Oh, God.
Yes. Not even Corona can stop L.A. Knight. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the way that they handled the fact that, because as you can tell, based on the knowledge that we're telling those that may not have known what happened with LA Knight, they changed up SmackDown and did a pretty good job of rewriting what was supposed to happen. Because, as you said, it was supposed to be LA Knight and John Cena against the new Usos, if you want to call them that, from the bloodline, in Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. And how they did this was, as they, over the last couple of weeks, have been kind of going along the lines of AJ Styles has befriended John Cena, once fierce rivals, now friends out of respect. And as they were going to do this match and try to get it signed on SmackDown, as you saw toward the end of SmackDown, we saw not only was there a quote-unquote signing with John Cena, AJ Styles is beaten to a pulp and almost electrocuted. So that's how they got around that. I think this was to show that there was a legitimate match, but then show the injury angle where if LA Knight is ready for next week, he can come in and they can basically take over what it was supposed to last night. So I think that's where they're headed with that. And I think it was really well done, actually.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. You're not even wrong on that, peeps. But you know what? Yeah. Let's just hope that this is not spelled disaster for the megastar. What everybody's saying.
L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that marks the end of Wrestling Crash Course. And that means that's the end of the first half of Saturday afternoon's main event. When we come back, we will go ahead and get into our questions. And from our questions, we will get into our topic for today. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, as shown by the ticker down below, the darker side to the industry. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere because the second half of Saturday afternoon's main event is coming up next. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the second half of Saturday afternoon's main event. Of course, it's a peep stage. It's a phenomenal one. Let's go ahead and get straight into our questions because there's a lot of scat to go ahead and get into here.
Oh, so definitely.
First one comes from Long Island Isaiah. He says, bro. Peeps, you don't understand how funny this was when I had to copy and paste it that I reread it.
Wow.
Like, for God's sakes. No, but honestly, peeps, bro.
Bro. Yes. And we're not talking Vince Russo, bro. As we will get into later on in the show, you'll understand why this is actually quite hilarious. Bro.
Bro. Anywho's, next one goes to Master Sean 007. Oh, man. He says, greetings, gentlemen. Let's get straight to the... It's been very busy this week in Rumorville with the talk of some talent leaving both AEW and WWE. First question. Is AEW becoming a sinking ship just by looking at arena attendance and TV ratings? 2. Who else do you see that's unhappy with their booking that may look to leave? And 3. Why do you think some of the talent may want out? Continued prayers for Steve McMichael. Damn, Mongo's back out. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know that, peeps. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Prayers to him. But.
Yes. Peeps,
with all of these, that's kind of like, going up. So, like, do you want to take care of this first? Or do you want me to go ahead and just, like.
Okay. This is what I'll do. I'll go ahead and take the first part of it. Mm-hmm. And then I guess you can piggyback off of anything if you feel you want to jump in.
Gotcha. No problem.
Okay. Based on what I see, and if this is where we're talking specifically AEW, that is a multifaceted question in this sense. Tony Khan is realizing, based on all of the things that have happened before 2 weeks ago, when I literally castrated AEW on this same show over some of the nonsense that has gone on. And then we had something happen while we were off the air last week that we're going to talk about later on in the show. There seems to be a disconnect between Tony Khan of how he wants to run his show and how he treats the talent and the talent's perception of how they should be treated and whether or not they should be pushed. And I'll hearken back to some of there was a comment that I read from, of all people, Bobby Fish.
Oh,
Bobby Fish talked about how it was great when he went to AEW that a lot of the wrestlers have a modicum of creative control over their own character, how they're portrayed, and some of the storylines that they book and what they're doing. But then he also said himself, even though you get a taste of that, you realize it's too much, and for a lot of people, they don't need to have that kind of power. This is just paraphrasing what he's saying, not verbatim. But in essence, there are talents in that company that should be getting pushed based on the fact that they need to get TV time. There's well over 150 wrestlers in AEW, as we've talked about ad nauseum for multiple weeks.
Yes.
And a lot of them just don't have the time on television because you only have 2 hours of Dynamite. You've got 1 hour of Rampage, for the exception of last night, which was 2 hours of Rampage.
Of
and then you have 2 hours of Collision. And when you're booking the shows where you have different rosters or different wrestlers, you gotta find the time to actually get those wrestlers there. And if you're not going to use those wrestlers, you're going to get stagnation. And those are the things that have happened with AEW in great spurts that people notice. When you start to see wrestlers get into the ring and then they have a feud and it's like, oh, that's actually interesting. And then one of two things happen. Either they hotshot the feud and then get rid of a long-term revenue stream because they wanted to pop a rating, or you have people that get into a feud and then you don't see them on television for a long period of time, or get hurt, which then stalls their momentum, and then they don't get back on TV and capture that same lightning in a bottle, per se. That's one thing. I think that AEW has a problem with how Tony Khan is booking the product, long-term booking, and then not using the tried and true formula that seems to work, which is you get two wrestlers in the ring, you give the people a reason why you should care about wrestler X, and then you put wrestler Y in there, and then you have them get some sort of conflict, do something storyline wise which explains everything, and then you get them into the ring and have a compelling match, and then you craft everything else around it. That's what is not really happening, because there seems to be too many cooks in the kitchen, in the sense that Tony Khan books a million different things into one program, and then it can be either confusing or it's a hot shot deal where they've sped through everything and not giving you finer details. And then there are those times when things do work and you get a storyline that is crafted well and that does work, i.e. MJF and Samoa Joe. I thoroughly enjoyed that, the way it was built. And then connecting back to the reference to NXT, when Samoa Joe was walking into the locker room and MJF was portrayed as a lowly security guard and he just shoved him out of the way. To connect those dots for the wrestling fan that is really in tune to that, that connects to Peeps, the diehards.
Well, Peeps, you do have to say, okay? Well, honestly, speaking of that, they do good jobs of being at least relatable to the wrestling fan, but taking certain schnicks and certain things, and they implement it into a way that you can't really say to. Well, look at it this way, Peeps. Look at it this way. Just before Dynamite, you had something like this. You know they say that all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at me, Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% chance at best at beating me. Then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 and 1/3 chance of winning, but I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning, because Kurt Angle knows that he can't beat me. wait, and he's not even gonna try. I'm sorry, I have to finish this off. I have to. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and 1/3 chance of winning, minus my 25 chance, and you got an 8 and 1/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then take my 75% chance of winning. If we was to go 1-on-1, that adds 66 and 2/3% chance. I got a 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. So see, Joe, the numbers don't lie. They spells disaster for you at Sacrifice. I just had to. The fact that I had to memorize that. The fact that I... Peeps.
Yes.
Jesus. See, adding certain snicks like that, they do a perfect, amazing thing at just relating to the... And if you remember... When MJF even had like that whole little promo where he recited that whole thing, you heard how the fans in the arena started laughing, and they started going along with it because they enjoyed it so much. And it's always nice to me, because the fact that he just started like the first 2 lines of that, and when he said, I'm a genetic freak. I was like, oh God,
Oh
I know where
boy.
this is going.
It's
And
Steiner math time.
Steiner math time. And I kid you not, I sat there, and the fact that he went all in on it, and he didn't stutter once like it was Steiner doing it. I was just
Yes.
like, MJF is amazing. But that's what I'm trying to say. A certain talent, they get booked the right way. They have the immunity to do what they feel as if they want to do with their character. Oh, granted, isn't that what AEW was marketed for?
Yes.
A wrestler that wants to do what they want with their character and let it be so?
Creative freedom, but the problem is with that creative freedom, there has to be a way to streamline the focus so that it's not all over the place. And a lot of wrestlers that have that much freedom, they don't know how to rein some of that stuff in to make it work. And I think that's what the issue is.
Yes.
Part of it.
Definitely. You're not wrong on that. Seeing who might be unhappy with their booking that may want to leave. Of course, I called out some names. Starks, Andrade. Maybe so. Who knows?
Well, Andrade has been teasing leaving for almost, 8 months?
Yeah.
We know how close he is to CM Punk. We also know that when he was healthy, he wasn't being used and he was upset. Miro sounded like he was on his way out almost a year ago. Mm-hmm. But we know there is value with Miro as somebody who is also criminally underused. Powerhouse Hobbs is another criminally underused wrestler. As far as I'm concerned, that man should be walking around with a championship and he should be holding onto a belt for about a year. He is damn good. And Powerhouse Hobbs, if AEW does a FAFO, he will leave. If you get the acronym, look it up on Google. It's a family show.
Not wrong.
But yes.
But jeez, oh gosh. Word of a wrestling fan. But Master Sean, I guess we kind of did answer the question.
Yes.
We're good on that. Okay, so good question on that. We'll go ahead and jump to the next one. It comes from the Hot Rod. He says, what changes do you like to see in WWE since the merger with Endeavor? For example, do you want to see a trios competition AEW style? No! No! Hell no! 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 No!
So what you're trying to say is no.
No. Yeah. Jesus, God bless your soul.
Yes.
Oh man, Pion says AEW has 3 shows on TV. How is it that they have that many underused wrestlers?
And that's the problem. That is the perfect point. Because if you have 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, and you have 150 wrestlers on the roster, where do those guys get on camera to show what they can do? Now, mind you, depending on the show, you may get 5, maybe 6 matches on a show, depending on if there's a squash and they're not doing something storyline related. But still, if you're doing 5 matches, let's say on average, you get 5 matches on Collision and you got 5 matches on Dynamite and you maybe get 3 matches on Rampage. That's between tag team, trios, etc. You're maybe going to use 10, maybe 12 wrestlers on a show. You still got 150 wrestlers on the roster. When are they going to get some attention? Vignettes, a faction build, somebody that interferes in a match to let you know that they're not at catering. Guys that should be in tag teams to bolster up a division for championships. Where is all of that? That's what they've got to focus on.
Hot Rod says, are you saying no, I didn't message? Yes, no, okay, no, no.
Yes.
No. Oh, God, please, no. Please, no.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yes, they're kind of doing the trio style of wrestling where we see so many different factions. I mean, literally, why do you think I don't watch the main event of Raw? Why do you think I don't even watch Raw General? Every single Monday night. What is it? Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day. No one wants to see that!
Those are matches designed for special occasions. Now, I'm one of the weird people that actually likes the Trios Championship, because from me watching the old NWA and watching the World Six-Man Tag Team Championships, and then the UWF, they had their own six-man tag team championship, but they had a trophy as opposed to a belt. And then watching the six-man tag team championships in Ring of Honor. So I like tag team wrestling, and if it's done right and showcased in the right way, those matches can feel special. But as we know, as we have been almost indoctrinated into watching six-man tag team matches in WWE programming, they're only used to advance storylines because you have 3 or 4 singles wrestlers that are already in feuds. Let's have them commingle and then interact with each other so that each one gives each other the rub within their own individual feuds, and then make a match out of it. That's what that is.
I'm sick and tired of it. No, I'm plain and simple, peeps. I mean,
I understand.
Like, no, like Hot Rod. No, like, you know, I don't want to see. I don't want to see another trios title, because for God's sakes, if we remember, having the trios title in AEW, the only reason it's now relevant to me again is because they actually went creative with the strap, meaning Scissory Daddy is no longer and is now embedded into the titles,
which is absolutely genius. That is genius.
Yes, but it's like, peeps, still, I can't see myself like I already can't, like, we already can't keep up with the women's tag titles. Neither can we keep up with some of the other titles that aren't being utilized as much. Like, look at Rhea Ripley's World Heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for God's sakes, the main title, the main card title, isn't even being seen on television. Isn't even being defended as much as you would possibly think the World Heavyweight title is being defended. What else do you have to tell me?
Yes, I mean, you would think Roman Reigns was probably at Area 51 in Roswell, you know, relaxing with the aliens and you know.
He's in Cuba with Tupac, peeps, for God's
sake. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry. Guys, I was just kidding. Jada Pinkett Smith, if you're listening, I was only kidding. I was only joking. Tupac is dead. Not in Cuba with Roman Reigns. Don't start booking your flight.
Uh-oh.
Will Smith, don't start crying. Anywho. I digress and move on to the next question. One comes from Tombstone City. He says, I'll take Dolph Ziggler, future Hall of Famer, for 1,000. Not wrong. Honestly, yes. Peeps, he's not wrong. You know?
Yeah.
You know what? Well, we know we're going to be getting into it, you know, with the next topic. But, you know, I'm just going to say this. Grand Slam champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, has had feud after feud that has been deemed, some have been, you know, catastrophic. Some have always been top tier. He has brought in us a lifetime amount of memes, especially the one when it comes to Rhea Ripley or Bailey. You have that one GIF. How does it go again? Oh, I know. It should have been me.
Yes.
So you get the memo, peeps. Dolph, honestly, nearly 20-year career. I've seen it from the jump. Hall of Fame him.
Yes.
No other way around it. Just Hall of Fame.
The only thing that he never accomplished in his career is main event WrestleMania.
Yup.
And that's roughly it. Every possible accomplishment that you can have. So if that was the case, oh yeah, I can't wait until we get into that next topic, because we're gonna lay it all along the line with all of the stuff, including Mr. Ziggler or Namath.
Of course. I
Yes.
mean, for God's sakes, peeps, you know what? Put it this way. He calls himself the Cal Ripken. And he said that the money, well, he did jokingly say, or probably didn't jokingly say, he did say that the best part about all of it was the money and the fat paycheck that he would be getting. But the other thing is that he would, like, if somebody were to be out of a title match today and they were to implement him into a title match, nobody would bat an eye or say anything negative, because they know that the show will be, they know that the match will be a show stealer. They know that Ziggler will go ahead and pour his heart out to make sure that the fans have a good sense of loving the product and loving what he's doing, and he just enjoys it. At this current time, he doesn't mind about not having world titles or not having, you know, like the main events or anything like that. He's cool with it.
if Shawn Michaels is called Mr. WrestleMania, the guy that trained Dolph Ziggler, then Dolph Ziggler would be Mr. Dependable. Because literally he did everything you asked him to do, no matter how asinine or ass-10 or ass-11 or any of the other things that we've seen him do, whether it be in a tag match or have some sort of love interest storyline or go after a championship, win Money in the Bank, try to start a faction, go into NXT earlier this year and win the NXT championship to put Braun Breaker over. Those are the kinds of things that Dolph did, and he did it without batting an eyelash. Yep. And those were the kinds of things that when you're in one company for 18 years, I mean, think about this. Dolph has been in the WWE. He's only started 2 years after John Cena made his main roster debut. And think about that. John Cena started on the main roster on SmackDown in 2002. Dolph showed up in 2004. So if you want to talk about longevity, there you go.
Yup, exactly right.
And he's not going to get that 20 years in WWE celebration that we saw Rey Mysterio get or John Cena get or Randy Orton get. But here we go, and he deserves it.
Exactly right. Exactly right. But you know what? At least he's not going to go ahead and pull the fact that Dwayne gets the main event of WrestleMania and I don't makes me sick. I.e. Cody Rhodes in the next few couple of months when The Rock comes back to face Roman at WrestleMania.
Oh boy.
I digress, guys. Let me stop. Okay, that marks the end of our questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys. We love the questions. We always love the questions. If you want to go ahead and send in one, you know how to go ahead and do it. Follow us and DM us on Instagram at Saturday Afternoons _main event. Leave us a question. It will be featured on the next episode of the show. We appreciate you guys. With that, we move into the following topic. The darker side of the industry. Now, before I say anything, Taekwon already getting started. Ziggy job dust. Ziggler was in the company longer than R. Kelly's victims. Cody got to finish the Thor.
Wow.
I hate this man.
Wow. He is ready today. That storm is not going to stop him. So
Lord.
Good looking out. Good looking out.
Taekwon, we love you, man. We love you. We always appreciate you. You're just the greatest. I mean, for God's sake. Jeez. Oh, man. Okay, so with that being said, okay, so let's do this. Last week, the merger was complete. WWE, UFC became one, and they now become TKO. Sales were now somewhat skyrocketed through the roof. The New York Stock Exchange was buzzing with Vincent Kennedy McMahon on a cane.
Well, that's a sight.
I'm just thinking it's just for immunity. Peeps, if we remember the steroid trials.
Yes. Where's his neck brace?
Exactly.
The neck brace transformed into a cane. He just hit a button on the side of it. There you go.
Exactly. But I mean, maybe it was due to the spinal surgery. Who knows? Yeah. Christ. But, from that, you had the group form TKO, somewhat of like a kind of like a sad day. You wouldn't really call it a sad day. It would just be like, damn, you know what? We never thought we'd see this day come. WWE is now no longer a McMahon-owned company.
Yeah.
That's insane. Just in itself, it's insane.
You want to know the saddest allegory that I can give you with this one? Think of it. The last SmackDown that was, either it was SmackDown or Raw, I think it was Raw, under the McMahon umbrella, had Nia Jax show up and almost break Rhea Ripley's ribs. I need to think about that. That was the final instance
of the McMahon regime.
Exactly.
You know what killed me? I sat there and I looked at that and I was just like, this is Vince's FU to the fans. This is Vince's final FU. He's like, you know what? I'm Vince McMahon, damn it.
Yes.
I do what I want, and I'm going to do this now.
Yes.
And for me, it killed me because you know what happened? I saw that and instantly went to Twitter right after because, of course, this was, right after Aaron Rodgers had torn his Achilles.
I understand.
Pain. Oh, Lord.
Yes, I understand.
But you know, they got the W at MetLife on 9/11. Well, great. You know, I went straight to Twitter. Saw that Nia Jax was there. Right after that, I refreshed, and somebody posted Endeavor got the chance to do the most funniest thing tomorrow. And it was a picture that was photoshopped and it said Nia Jax has been released. We wish her the best in her future endeavors.
Oh, good grief.
Man. But yeah, you know, that's just it is what it. Oh my gosh. Taekwon, New York always taking L's in September. This man just doesn't stop.
That is just wrong. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Why TF does Tamina still have a job? You know what? I think you know the answer to that question. I think we all know the answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really have to get into this?
Not really, but if you want to.
You know what? Let me just put it like this. Taekwon, Samoan Dynasty. There's your answer.
There you go.
Okay. Why do you think Nia Jax is back? Be for real. You really think they would let go of one of these Samoan people? Because, listen, Afa and Sika, for God's sakes, would get up from their wheelchairs, put on their fala atas, and just storm right down the Titan Towers and beat the holy hell out of the McMahons. Because, you know, that's just what they do. They're the wild Samoans. You know, you can't get rid of a Samoan in WWE. That doesn't make any sense because somebody's gonna have some hell to pay. So, look, we just leave it like that. But from that, sale completed. You're sitting there like, okay, budget cuts will start today. Whatever, fine. And reminder, I said budget cuts. Just saying that. But nothing of that manner happened.
Yeah.
Instead, we fast forwarded to AEW was still having their anarchy with Charles Montgomery Punk. You know, you sat there, you're just like, geez, man, like, what the heck are we supposed to do now? Like, honestly, like, what the heck are we supposed to do now? What is there for us to do at this day and age for us to, you know, really get the memo that AEW is just a complete a-hole when it comes to Tony Khan? Listen. Tony Khan, for God's sakes. Everything from I'm being threatened at a pro wrestling show to, oh, you know what? Show's gonna be fine. To not being able to sell out so many different, you know, arenas. To AEW Grand Slam doing good on its final day because the hometown boy MJF actually marketed out the show on CBS Channel 2. To do all of that and to tell me that you guys were actually doing buy one get ones like on tickets for Grand Slam when literally 2 years ago, peeps, weren't they doing like 20,000 at stadium? There were people sitting behind a stage, right? These people were literally selling out Arthur Ashe full capacity. And instead of that, we got 11,000 people in attendance this past week. Doesn't that make any sense? Guys, look at that. Look at that. You see, we start talking hella. Peeps has this issue. They hate us. 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 Peeps, you're back. Have mercy. Please tell me you're able to hear me now. Peeps, can you hear me? Oh, gosh. Guys, they have infiltrated Peeps Nature's Wi-Fi. Jeez.
Okay. Is everything clear?
Yeah, we hear you now, Peeps. We hear you now.
There we go.
Okay. So peeps, here's the thing.
Oh, okay.
20,000 at Arthur Ashe. First inception of Grand Slam. Fast forward to that. No people sitting behind the stage. They have a tarp to block off the back of the stage. 11,000 fans in attendance.
Yes.
And you're doing bogos.
Yeah.
And not even that, peeps. Lower bowl seating, which was about $200. That was high demand during the first inception. By resale, $200, $300. Tickets before MJF went on the air on CBS Channel 2. Those tickets were $30. And I remember exactly saying that. I was like, peeps, here's the tickets, man. Are you gonna go? You're like, you know what, honestly, if the show is just that good, maybe. But you know what? I'd rather be at home with my pizza rolls in the comforts of my own home. So listen, a bit.
Yes.
That should tell you enough. Nobody wanted to go. That's just like peeps. That's what it was.
Yes.
AEW, have mercy. Lord have mercy. This is damn. No, peeps. Damn. Peeps dropping off like Arthur Ashe's white blood cells.
Oh boy. Good grief. Oh man.
Bro, why do you do this to us? Why? Why does it happen to us?
Yes. We're getting it today because of Ophelia. Ophelia and everything else is trying to mess with the Wi-Fi. We know that. So
Taekwon, he also says this. So Tamina's dad killed somebody and she's still employed, but nobody want to hire David Benoit. Peeps, what are we like? Are we ever gonna? Yo, nobody's ever gonna be able to escape Taekwon, bro. Like this man, menace to society.
No,
menace to society, man. I mean, golly.
Yes.
Wow. Just wow.
Oh man.
But okay. Phenom says WWE never had deals on tickets for TVs and pay-per-views. I mean, yeah, that's true. Actually, looking at it, they've only done it for house shows, I think, right? Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, they've only done it for house shows. I mean, they probably have fillers here and there. They probably have give out free tickets, whatever the case may be. But I wouldn't say they had deals. Or they'd actually make up deal. No, they've never done that. Wow. Would you look at that, peeps? Would you look at that? Have mercy. You know what? That tells you enough. So AEW, look, already down the poop deck. Move over, all right? To the next thing. First show of the Endeavor Holding, right? We get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The Rock, who was on Pat McAfee's show earlier that day. The same Rock who went ahead and said that Roman Reigns versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was supposed to happen at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles, California, but got scrapped.
Yes.
Peeps. I'm just gonna ask you this. I spent $8,000 to not see The Rock and Roman Reigns, which I thought was supposed to happen due to the fact that it was Hollywood. It was cousin versus cousin, Universal title, end all be all. Perfectly so. It was written in the stars. But we didn't get it, and we don't know the reason why. And instead of getting that, I got a Samoan spike to my intestines and suffered genetic kidney failure. And lost good week due to the fact that Cody Rhodes couldn't finish the story? Are you kidding me? Why does it happen to me?
Oh boy.
Oh God. Okay, you know what? I digress.
Oh, there you go.
Christ. But
that's number 6.
Jeez.
Yeah.
AEW tickets come with a full redemption for a large stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, I take that. I take that stuffed crust pizza real quick.
He said, "I'll take the stuffed crust pizza." Bro. Oh man. Phenon says, "Was that good for business for The Rock spilling beans about the match never happening?" No, it wasn't good for business. It wasn't. I would have been better off wondering what if. That's really what it would have been. Because peeps, you sit there and you wonder, man. You sometimes wonder about the biggest what ifs, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you wonder, what if Nigel McGuinness never got injured? What if CM Punk hadn't left the WWE in 2014? What if The Undertaker didn't lose at WrestleMania 30?
What if Andre the Giant had beaten Hogan at WrestleMania? There's a what if.
What if Benoit hadn't done what he done?
There
are so many what ifs in pro wrestling. And that's all it is. What ifs. So it just has you begin to wonder. That's all that happens. You don't really sit there and say to yourself, "Oh, I'm mad. It didn't happen to set in the 30." You're just like, okay, what if? Because we know what happened. Yes. Okay, maybe because they weren't gonna have the match. Maybe it's because he had a lot of things, a lot of movie things to fulfill, anything this, that, and the third, and they probably never thought about it. Because those were the reports. The reports were, oh, The Rock has a lot of TV things to fulfill in movies, so there might be a chance that might not happen. So the full goal is for Cody to go ahead and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Fast forward to the person that is supposed to be in the match, the person that we wanted to be in the match, tells us it was going to happen. All hands on deck was there. It was going to happen. So now you sit there and you begin to tell people that. And we as fans, we're going to sit there and say, you piece of crap. You guys didn't pull the trigger. The one thing that we wanted, you guys didn't do it. And you were this close to doing it and you didn't do it. So now it incites riot. It incites a lot of curse words that I can't say on airways right now.
Yes.
It incites anger because I was better off not knowing that information.
And I'm kind of shocked that he flippantly just talked about it as if it was,
nothing happened.
Exactly.
Wait, can you imagine just sitting there? Like, can you imagine just out of nowhere? Somebody just says, because the biggest what if, right, is, oh, whose decision was it to end the streak, right? What if Vince McMahon chose not to end the streak?
Okay.
Now, what if Undertaker were to go on television tomorrow and say, oh, that whole thing about Vince saying that he wanted to end the streak, that's a lie. I wanted to end it. What does that do to the wrestling universe?
Yeah.
Twitter for days, right?
Exactly.
If, God forbid, I don't play with death, I'm never going to go ahead and sit there and play with death, right? What if people were to say Owen's heart death wasn't an accident, right?
Yes.
What if? Because we always hear, oh, he the cable snapped, fell to his death, unfortunately passed away. What if today, on a day like this, we heard somebody just say, oh, report came back that it was somebody who went ahead and cut the cable? Do you know what that does, peeps?
Yes.
Yes, some type of closure, but still, you're gonna sit there, you're gonna blow up the world.
Yes.
There's certain things that you can't really say after the fact. Okay, Bray Wyatt, before he passed away, had this moment on Raw with The Undertaker. What did he say to him? We don't know. They asked Taker. They both said, oh, this is something that we're going to take to the grave with us. We're not going to discuss.
Yes, exactly.
Things about wrestling, there's certain things about wrestling that happens behind closed doors that the fans don't need to know. If we don't know the day of, if we don't know as it's happening, we don't want to know at all. Because you're just going to make us pissed off even more. We don't, peeps, why would The Rock do something like that? Christ.
Yeah, he has that kind of power. And to flippantly do it during an interview for a college football game, which is kind of like, whoa, that's odd. Like he was supposed to. And I remember when I heard the interview, I did a double take. It's like, really? And so you are now kind of opening the door as to, wow, why didn't this happen? No one is saying why. Nobody's saying anything else.
No one's saying nothing. That's why I'm pissed.
Exactly.
That is exactly why I'm pissed. Because what are you going to tell me now? Right? That, maybe he had to fulfill obligations. Honestly speaking, okay, I understand. He's a movie star. High demand. But I mean, come on. You know, we understand that the SAG after a strike is happening and this, that, and the third. So you have a chance to actually be on television to say certain things. But damn it, man.
Yeah.
Do you really? You out of your mind to go ahead and say that in the 21st century where you're going to tell fans, oh, yeah, I was supposed to have the blockbuster match that you all wanted to see. The match
that's almost akin to Lex Luger saying, well, I was supposed to win the WWF championship.
Although nobody wanted to see him win the WWF title, peeps. I'm just being for real.
It is what it is.
I'm just being for real, Like, I love the guy. I love Lex, but peeps, you have to be for real sometimes. No one wanted to see him win the title.
I would have loved to have seen what it would have been like to have a Lex reign, but I don't think everybody looked at it. Lex is not Hogan, and I think that was the knock against him.
Do you forget that one episode of Superstars that wasn't televised? They had Lex Luger walk out with the WWF title.
Yes, and it looked so odd, and it was like the fans were like, "Huh?
The hell?" Like,
yeah, it was so odd. And I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, well, they usually do this if they're going to do a title change. They'll just randomly go to a house show and they'll have an interview or they'll show somebody with a championship, and it's like, oh, here we go." And the reaction is like, well, that's odd. The pay-per-view isn't until a month from now. So why does he have the championship? And then he's cutting a promo with the belt and everything else. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. And then to see the reaction of the fans, that's usually where Vince came in and said, you know what, maybe this isn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where those go.
Exactly right. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Lex won by count out and celebrated. F that. Jesus, Taekwon. But from there, right?
Yes.
The Rock comes out, beats the hell out of Austin Theory. Great, perfect. First night of Endeavor being, officially in. Yeah, Hot Rod, to answer your question, it was the biggest pop of the year. I mean, for God's sake, see, I opened my phone just to see The Rock right out of the stage. I said to myself, wait, did I actually click on SmackDown or did I click on a YouTube video? Then I saw that it was the actual stage, and then I saw Pat McAfee and Austin Theory right there, and I was just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, could you imagine being one of those fans that had tickets thinking they were just going to see SmackDown, and all of a sudden...
That's what pissed me off. That's what pissed me off even more. Peeps, I spent $8K hoping to see The Rock all the way in LA. And you're telling me people spent a lone sum of maybe $75?
Yes.
And they got to see The Rock?
Yes, there you go. Right. Remember, woosah. There you go.
Have mercy.
There you go.
But. You know what? Here's the thing, guys. From there, right? Then we hear the Jade Cargill stuff. Move on from that. Cool, no problem. Monday happens. Yeah, whatever. Beginning of Wednesday, we're going to hear reports that TKO Group Holdings, Endeavor, wants to let go of Vince McMahon. They want to get rid of the Mac Daddy, the Godfather. The man that we know will be taxidermied onto a chicken and still running the company in 2035.
Yes, it'll be like Futurama. It'll just be his head in a jar, barking orders and firing people. I can see it now. I can see a Futurama skit where Vince McMahon is still running everything. And says, "You're fired." Blah, blah, blah.
What a maneuver! Oh, God.
Yes.
But yeah, so due to the fact that they gave him his money, billions, primetime play, billions of dollars, billions of dollars, billions of
billions
dollars.
of dollars. Yes, exactly.
So he gets his money, and now they're saying, "Oh, you can have a negative impact on our company. We want you gone." You're doing that to Vince McMahon, goddammit.
Yes.
Oh gosh, peeps. And you remember our analogy from yesterday? We said to ourselves, "Yo, here's the reports. Vince McMahon kicked out of Endeavor. A couple hours later, Ari Emanuel, owner of TKO Group Holdings, gets killed by Vince McMahon and now charged TKO. 8 hours after that, Vince McMahon fires every other person out of the board.
Yes.
Implements his own board of new clone Vince McMahon's.
Yes.
Peeps, you can't. I mean, golly, you can't get rid of the man.
No.
Honestly, do you think that this is now around the time that they might? Because he no longer has board control.
No.
Shareholders now have a chance to actually get him out if they want to get him out.
Which is something that a lot of people have wondered if it would ever happen. Would not have happened if this was still a family-owned company. And this is why a lot of people have wondered what would have happened had Stephanie McMahon not been forced out of the company or stepped down for whatever the reasoning that she said it was family and she wanted to move on. No, I think she saw the writing on the wall. She saw the writing on the wall, and that's the reason why she's gone.
Not even that. She didn't see no writing on the wall. The writing on the wall was perfect for her. She was enjoying it. And honestly, all that BS-ery about Nick Khan and some of the people on the board not wanting her, that's a bunch of baloney. It's BS to me. Because if you remember, peeps, when Stephanie took over, stock was actually booming up by like 7-8 points.
Yes.
People were actually wanting to delve in the company after Vince left. Are we forgetting that?
Yeah.
And you think I'm going to buy some type of news comment that says, oh, none of the people on the board wanted Stephanie there? Oh, but
that's
they
a
want
bunch
to
of garbage. We know that. It was a
Triple
power
H.
play. We know it was a power play. Exactly. That's all it has ever been in this company, where Vince has always been the alpha and the omega of the entire company, of the board, of business dealings, of marketing, of creative, all of the facets that run the company, all of the important voices and votes come from Vincent Kennedy McMahon. That's the reason why a lot of people looked at it as like, well, why would you come and work for Vince? Vince will make you a lot of money, but it comes with the caveat of you're working for Vince McMahon. And that's the crazy thing that you have to deal with going into that. And now Vince, at almost 80 years old, is dealing now with, I'm almost here. I'm getting toward the end of my professional career. I'm not doing what I would normally be doing, and the future is here. You don't want this to pass you by, but yet he's going to swim in his own personal money bin of billions and billions of dollars. Now he still wants to have that control of creative, of his product, and he doesn't have that same voice anymore. He could legitimately be ousted by the board members if they so deem it, because of a mess that is of his own doing.
Exactly right.
And that is what this whole irony is, of the fact that he got this company to where it is now, to be a bargaining chip to get better TV deals and better contracts and more money in merchandising and global worldwide influence. And then you may not be running that same company that you bought from your father over 40 some years ago.
It's just so funny to me, because he sat there, kicked his daughter out, told her to step down, created a whole PR fiasco, which made her seem like that she just wanted to step down in the family. Comes back at the board, knows that he's coming back for a sale, sells the company to Endeavor, merges it with the UFC, know that he's about to go ahead and get $1 billion payout, still thinks that he's going to be in charge.
Yes.
Gets his money just for them to tell him, okay, yeah, you got your money, get the F out.
So literally, he basically got power played. He got what he wanted, but the
was no medicine.
Endeavor group actually made a power play on him to get him out if they need to.
So Endeavored actually future Endeavored Vince McMahon.
Could you imagine that? Wow, like boom, mind blown.
No. You know what's gonna make it even funnier, peeps? Imagine in an alternate universe, right? Never sells a company. Nick Khan goes ahead, sits there. Nick Khan's like, yeah, Vince, you had to go, man. You had to go, Nick Khan, still owner, WWE, yes. Right?
Yes.
Out of nowhere, next night, gets on Raw's like, yo, you know what? Hey, listen, like Vince did all he can, made this company what it is today, and as he always says, it's then, now, and forever together.
Yes.
But we're putting emphasis on that together part. Because yes, my name is Nick Khan, and I am the owner of WWE. Not only am I the only Khan running this show, and out of nowhere, Tony Khan just comes out cracked up. Hi, guys. I now own the World Wrestling Entertainment.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Hi, guys. I'm running. I think I'm running something. Oh, good.
Oh, Jags! Like for God's sake, like jeez. But it's just like honestly, like now we begin to imagine, like, damn, Vince is out. Vince is out of his own company. Like, yes, if it wasn't for him, WWE probably still would have been a Northeast indie.
Yeah.
If he never took the leap of faith on WrestleMania, but still,
yes,
man, Godfather of professional wrestling at this certain point in time
could potentially be gone. Like, if you think about it, now obviously it hasn't been done yet, but the power play is still there if they so deem that his name is so embroiled and entangled with so much scandal that it can hurt the stock of the company, and also what they're trying to do. So remember, this is a brand new venture now. The UFC has its own baggage that they had to deal with. The WWE has decades and decades of not only great wrestling memories, making money, et cetera, but they also come with a whole lot of baggage. And if you're looking at a new company that is being publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange, and you're thinking you're going to want to buy stock and be a shareholder in TKO Holdings, do you really think that they have the confidence that Vince McMahon's name brought to the WWE as saying he brings stability and a safe portfolio to the masses, that his name is connected with WWE? Or does TKO Holdings look at this whole entire umbrella and say that we may be better off, even though Vince's name is in perpetuity woven throughout the DNA of this company, knowing that Triple H is in place, and you still have Kevin Dunn there, you still have all of the other people that are within the employ of WWE currently that are in a different bubble, so to speak, as far as no real drama behind them, something that is actually a much newer, more current vision for creative, different marketing techniques, as Triple H did with the late Bray Wyatt, and getting engagement with the rabbit hole storyline, and getting people to engage through QR codes and social media, doing all of that stuff. A lot of that was the brainchild of Triple H, obviously in coordination with Vince and a lot of other people. But that's the direction that they're going with the product, as opposed to a lot of the dinosaur older things that Vince has been using to book his product and get it over. Those are the kinds of things that are going to be looked at as TKOs going forward, and they're going to look at themselves and say, is this all worth it? Should we keep Vince on, or do we just say, go home, swim in your money, buy island, swim in your money bin,
pay more hush money? Let me shut up on that one. I'm sorry.
Whatever you think of, as great of a pioneer and visionary he was, there comes a time when you're going to have to make that bridge to the next 40 years or so of the WWE. And I think that the morale of the WWE changes if they know Vince isn't involved on a long-term basis with the company going forward.
Oh, well, from that, peeps, as well from that, moving on from, the Vince stuff, kind of in a sense.
Okay.
They get the deal with USA for SmackDown. Stock plummets from $120
Yes.
to $84.
Whew, yeah. Whew.
Now they're using that as the reason to go ahead and want to kick Vince out. They're like, oh yeah, that's because of Vince. Of course, we know that's not the reason, but
Of course.
like having to put out a rough filing after the SCTE went ahead and did all their filings early before the sale. You telling me now you're putting out filings? Okay, whatever. Stock plummets. We know what that means when stock plummets. There are going to be major changes in the business, right?
Yes.
Exactly from that, peeps. We hear that an hour later, Elimination Chambers in Australia. Oh, great. Okay, perfect. How does that work? What now? I remember exactly just going on Twitter, seeing that Emma was just like a dream. Exit out of Twitter. Text a friend. Come back into Twitter. Refresh. Emma has been released by WWE. What the hell? How? Tarantino can't write a better script.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe her response was, oops, never mind about that, which is just so sad. Like, oh, yeah. It's heartbreaking. To know that could have been something to strive for, to get a yank right up from, she was kneecapped, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
Among others who got kneecapped. Some saw it coming, a lot of them didn't.
Kneecapped, yeah. Another one got madcapped. That was insane. Yeah.
Oh, somebody just got mossed.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, look at it this way. Yo, Taekwon, I can't even say what I want to say, man. He said they got the notification and said this man thinks she's employed.
Wow.
I hate you, bro. I hate you. But peeps, from that, right? Moss gets released. And I will forget. Fightful goes ahead and puts it out on Twitter. Right? And I'm not joking about them getting fired. It's just the scenarios that happen within it, okay?
Yeah.
He goes ahead, sees that he gets posted on Fightful. Fightful says, oh yeah, he just got released. He wants to make a joke out of it. He wants to be smiling about it. He doesn't want to go ahead and do too much. He doesn't want to be sad about it. He sees it as an opportunity. So what does he say? He's like, I did? I didn't even pick up the phone. And this is why he was Madcap Moss to me, the funny jokes.
Yes.
I loved it. But he then went on to say, look, honestly, I got paid a good amount of money per match. You guys would say that it was because Triple H came back into the company that, that started doing more with creative, that, I wasn't being booked right. But honestly, who really won here? Because I made a lot of good money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, Indies, fire up the Brinks truck because I'm ready. Listen, he's thankful. He's good. He's just like, okay, you know what? Time for me to go ahead and, continue to venture out and make myself better in the industry. So
the biggest thing you could throw at him, not to cut you off, but the big endorsement that has, he's a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman actually loves him.
Yup. That's facts. So you can send that anywhere, any which way or form. It's gonna be done. I'm all in on it. Moss, Indies, wherever he goes, look, becomes the next Matt Cardona. Easily. That's fine with me. But peeps, from there, the list began and began and began and began, and it went on and 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 on. So let me just read this list onto you, and if I miss any names, you can go ahead and pick up on that for me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, if we're going to start from the bottom. So, Abulabadi Fitzgerald. Brooklyn Barlow. Alexis Gray. Daniel MacArthur. Kevin Ventura Cortez. Bryson Montana. Guys, all of these are NXT developmental stars. So you can get the reason why. Quincy Elliott. One of the much more polarizing figures in NXT Unicorn Poop.
A character that looks like he was starting to get over with the fans. They really kind of enjoyed his character as he tried to develop it and get it over on TV. So they really enjoyed that character.
But, so they came to a close. Yulisa Leon. That one I was kind of shocked at because I thought that she was actually getting over with NXT currently.
Yes.
Ikemen Jiro. Man, I love those guys' jackets. The jackets,
yes.
the
jacket time. Yes.
Yeah. It was always great for me, Shanky. No more dancing. Damn.
Yes.
That one sucks. Dabakato. Of course, if you don't know who Dabakato is, you would probably know him from Prince Apollo Cruises.
Yes.
Commander
Aziz. Aziz. Commander Aziz. Come and help me. Yes, sir. I need the Commander Aziz. Yes.
Damn. So
there you go.
Dabakato out. Damn it. Dana Brooke.
That one shocked me.
Yeah.
A lot. Especially what they were doing with her. The fact that they brought her down to NXT over the last couple of months.
And she was actually getting better.
Exactly. What is she, the 45-time or 30-time 24/7 champ or whatever they had?
24/7 I-95 South.
Yes.
Jeez.
Good grief.
Mace or Mace.
Yes.
Mansoor or should I say Mansoir?
Mansoir. And
Damn.
Those are interesting names too. Very interesting.
Damn.
Yeah.
Rick Boogs.
Yes.
That one hurt.
Especially since he just started doing commercials for the WWE. He just started doing he did a Snickers commercial with Bianca Belair and Michael Cole.
It's just wow. Top Dollar.
That was inevitable, I think.
Still in a job? Nada. I'm sorry. I just had to. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Yo, Taekwon, for real. He's like Quincy Elliott is Viscera if he dropped the soap. I hate you.
Wow.
I hate you. Dana Brooke gonna be delivering Postmates. She's getting 0 stars on reorder.
Wow.
Top Dollar gonna get his CDL. Jesus, bro. You know.
Wow. Brutal.
Bro.
Yeah.
Next person on this list. Aaliyah.
That one is really unfortunate, and for those that don't understand why it's unfortunate, here's why. There was a huge amount of upside to Aaliyah, bringing her up to the main roster. They put her in a tag team for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships with Rochelle Rodriguez.
Rochelle. Oh, man.
I say Raquel Rodriguez. And the funny thing about it is they were a tag team for all of, a couple of weeks. And then Aaliyah tore her ACL. She was injured. And she hadn't been seen since. For those that remember when she was brought up on the main roster, she had the quickest win in the history of the WWE as far as what they were going kayfabe-wise. Her beating Natalya.
Yeah, but it was the quickest one. But you know what killed me? Mm-hmm. This is what hurt it. Because a lot of people do remember that match, but people remember the aftermath the most because
Oh, of course. When you mean when she upchucked in the, she was so emotional. She put her hand over her mouth and just then everybody remembers that. She's like, and the winner, like, yeah, I won it. Oh yes, I'm throwing the green flag on that one. That's a penalty. Yes. Not to make fun of it, but it was cool because it was part of her quirky personality, is the fact that she's so emotional and she was not ready for the moment in the sense of the emotional part of it. She just couldn't hold it in.
Just couldn't hold it. Oh my god, bro, Taekwon. Aaliyah's just gonna be homicidal. I want her doing ish. OnlyFans, okay? OnlyFans.
Boy.
That's what she's gonna be doing. Oh, come on. He just said, bro, I guess Aaliyah wasn't 1 in a million. The wrong Aaliyah was on that plane. Bro!
Wow. Wow.
Bro! Dark humor can only go so far.
Wow.
Bro. Damn,
let's inch away from that one.
Yeah, let's inch
away.
Yeah, just like a worm.
Yes.
Yeah, just okay. Next one. Riddick Moss, of course, he spoke about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Emma.
Who, by the way, both of them are actually, I believe, engaged. So
engaged.
Yes.
Damn. Insane.
Yes.
Next one. Elias.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin.
That one stung, but it's also not a surprise. But it did sting.
Yeah. Mustafa Ali.
This man was booked to get an NXT North American Championship at the next NXT Premium Live event, No Mercy, next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Prominently featured in the promo build-up, and they were getting that angle over. And all of a sudden,
here we go.
Now we know exactly a lot of the things that have happened with Ali.
He's been wanting to go for years.
Yeah.
And finally we saw that he was being worked the right way. And he was being used the right way. And we're getting a title match with him versus Dominic. And then this happens. How do you not grant him his release before all of this? Well, he's finally about to go ahead and do something with his career that the fans are happy about.
Mm-hmm. But the fans were really behind Ali. Really, they were really behind Mustafa Ali. And then all of a sudden,
this one pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie to you. This one pissed me off. I like, come on. Right when he's about to go ahead and have a title match. Not sure how it's gonna go. We're not sure if Dominic's gonna keep the title, retain, or if Mustafa's gonna win. But what we know is that he was great on promos. He was great on in-ring work. The man was at literally peak. This is the best he's been since before he injured himself and was about to face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title, if you remember.
Boy, talk about bad luck. I mean, Kofi Mania happened because of his injury. You
were going to get Mustafa Ali as a World Heavyweight Champion. Can you imagine that, peeps?
That would have been something. That's another big what if.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it'll never be. But we'll find out. He can work in any company tomorrow if he needed to.
Definitely, but of course, 90-day release clause.
Of course. All of these folks, think about this. All of the ones that have been released from NXT, they have a 30-day no-compete clause. Everybody else that were in the main roster is 90 days. So we're talking for those NXT releases, they can show up in another company in October, whereas the others can show up in December.
So you can't work for that long. Like, you peeps, that's mind you, there's 2 more names on this. Next one, Dolph Ziggler, a man that's literally done it all.
Yes,
a man that has won tag team gold, a man that has won world title at the world title. The man that has become a Grand Slam champion. A man who has been a stepping stone and probably, I have to say, one of the best sellers in the industry.
Oh, yes. Yes.
A master in the super kick.
Yes.
Filled with charisma, arrogance, and just sheer perfection.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yes, I did.
Dolph. A man that I was introduced to when he was just Nikki from the Spirit Squad.
Yes.
You see how long that was?
Yes. Mickey! Mikey! Oh, good grief. Oh,
And we
Lord.
are the
The
Spirit
Spirit
Squad.
Squad! Oh, my Lord. What?
But peeps,
Yes.
nearly 20 years, man.
Yeah.
Taekwon, even better, yeah. I remember him as Curran White's caddy. Who
Yes.
can forget that too?
Yes. Yes.
And now you're telling me he's gone. Nearly close to 20 years. You listen. Of all those other names that you let go of, I'm pissed off that you let go of this one the most. Because this one shouldn't have never been on this one. This one was a complete shock. Dolph?
Yeah.
Dolph. You can easily give this man a producer job in NXT or WWE. I mean, Jason Jordan got one. Nick Aldis, who wasn't even a wrestler in the company, he got one. Dolph Ziggler, you couldn't have him as a producer. Even for NXT, have him sit right in Gorilla with Shawn Michaels, his mentor.
Yes.
Have him sit right there and let them go ahead and go to work together. Why not?
Let him train wrestlers the same way that Shawn Michaels trained him. He could be then one of those guys that are training the up and coming guys, like you said, in NXT. They could put him in as like, well, we're going to train this guy and we're going to work on psychology. Oh, we're going to work on match flow. Oh, we're going to work on finishes. Oh, we're going to work on transitions. There's a multitude of things that he could do that would, with his knowledge, rub off on the young people that are coming in that would be completely invaluable to a young, impressionable mind getting into the business, without question.
Jeez. Taekwon, really? Ziggler gonna beat Eddie Kingston after 3 zigzags and 5 super kicks. Oh, wow. Taekwon, similar to Vietnam, another Ali dropped out.
Oh, boy.
He don't stop. The man don't stop. He don't stop. Says Ali made no sense, but he gets to go somewhere he wants to go. Listen, I hopefully want to see Ali and Dolph. I want to see them both prosper, of course.
Yes.
They potential there, still at max. Zig, if Zig goes to AEW, teams with his brother Ryan, hopefully they could potentially take down CM Punk through Twitter. Yeah, I know, guys. Of course, if you know the story behind all of that, you have mercy. But from all of that,
yes,
the last name on this, who I'm not surprised by, okay, at all. I'm not surprised by this. I saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a matter of when.
Yes, and we even talked about this just a couple of weeks ago of it may be happening at some point.
Mm-hmm. Definitely so. And the fact that it happened, I'm just like, hey, look. What can I possibly say as much as, you know what? Nah, peeps, I think there is a one word that can describe this. Bro.
Riddle me this. Riddle me that. What are you going to do when they cut Big Bad Matt? And that's exactly what TKO did to him. And even worse, the WWE, they don't even do the actual stuff. Oh boy. I just saw the comment. It's of Taekwon. I saw.
Don't be mad. UPS is hiring.
Oh boy. But the WWE, they don't even do future endeavored press releases anymore. Oh, we released blah, 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 blah. We wish them all the best in their future endeavor. They don't even do that anymore. It's up to the wrestling journalists, media, and people like us and the wrestlers to inform those that don't know. Because imagine you're looking at Raw, SmackDown, and whatever. Well, I haven't seen this guy in a while. I haven't seen that guy in a while. And you don't frequent the WWE's website, or maybe you don't follow the dirt sheets. You don't know. Well, I haven't seen this wrestler in so long. Oh, what happened to Aaliyah, for a perfect example? What happened to her? Oh, I haven't seen Emma in a while. She was on TV. What happened to Madcap Moss? No, they're all gone. Gone. Now, with Riddle, it seemed like every 3 months we were getting something where he would have some great matches, he'd get a nice push, he would get some publicity, and then something came up that either he was in, that maybe he got injured, or something happened where he got in trouble with the wellness policy. And now, as we know, the story that happened within the last couple of weeks with a TSA agent at Port Authority in New York from a plane flight, something happening. There seemed to always be some kind of drama surrounding Matt Riddle, either in his personal life or, and that's part of the issue. And I think what TKO was looking at was, if this is going to be the case and we're going to do these mass releases where they, remember, just before all of these wrestlers were announced, they released 100 jobs in the front office and all of the various departments to, as they say, get rid of redundancy, which is not to have UFC and WWE having the same people with the same jobs. So they streamlined them by maybe seniority or by getting the best from WWE and then the best of UFC, and then any of those other people that were there, they cut them. So on the heels of over 100 staff members being fired, you knew it was going to trickle down to the talent. And the talent, looking at Matt Riddle, was like, is he worth the headache? With all of the things that he's gone through, his personal life being brought up, the wellness policy stuff, and then this, they just decided to cut bait and keep it moving.
It never ends.
Yes.
Now, the fact that I heard the whole airport thing, it was like,
yes.
The minute the airport thing happened, they cut him from all things creative.
Yes.
Like, they stopped all the creative stuff. So
they sent them home. They pretty much sent them home.
Peeps, it's not even this. Look, Taekwon, you know how egregious you got to be for the company that employs John Jones to fire you?
You know, that's not a bad point. That is definitely not a bad point. But it's the saddest part of all of these releases is that there are so many guys that were here, some that were brought back by Triple H, some that didn't work out, and some people that should have gotten better chances. I'll give you the example of the Maximum Male Models with Marseille and Mansois. They themselves did a Twitch stream the day they were released. And it was like a 4-hour stream. And they talked about how some of the things happened, why they think they got fired, and some of the things that they were doing to try to pitch if the Maximum Male Models thing didn't work. They talked in length about how Vince McMahon, surprise, was the one behind that idea about the models. He gave them kind of like a $2,000 allowance to go out and buy fashionable clothes, et cetera, et cetera. And then at house shows, they would do fashion runs to get the gimmick over. Yep. So much so that Vince McMahon himself would show up at some of these shows and give them ideas of how to help them out, get them over.
The fact that Vince was actually that in tune with them,
yes,
that's into me. Like that, like it's shocking. Like,
yes,
jeez, peeps, like, wow. But did you hear that whole thing about LA Knight though? That kind of, I don't know how to feel about that one.
Mm-hmm.
The whole LA Knight thing, where they're like, oh yeah, when the Maximum Male Models thing was going on, he didn't want no part of it. He wanted out. He was threatening to quit.
Yeah.
damn, like they kind of made him out to be like, like real villain. Like I don't know if it was a work. I don't know if it was
I
like a
think I think it was more of a work than anything. I don't look at it as something being serious. I think it was probably in
sure.
kayfabe because also Mansoor actually talked about, well, there were a lot of other things that happened, but you're gonna have to buy my book whenever I write it. So those
Oh,
were kind
the
of the
whole
things.
thing. The whole thing about Riddle slapping Walter.
Oh yeah,
That got me. That got me. I was just sitting
yes,
there like, bro, if the Riddle slapping Walter thing is real, then he has to be getting released soon. That, long behold. So I guess it is. Peeps imagine.
yes,
Peeps
yeah.
imagine. I mean, damn.
The other thing before we move on with Mansoor and Dio Madden is what he was using. He for the small amount of time he was in WWE, he had a huge range from color commentator with Samoa Joe on Raw to being in Retribution to being a model and being in Raw Underground. All of those things within a span of say 3 years. So think about that. That's a huge range. And the other thing that they showed on their Twitch stream, and it's actually something rather entertaining, they pitched two things that they were going to do with that they wanted to do with their characters. One was, I believe they were going to call themselves the Fixers, where they basically became uh, kind of like the APA, but kind of a little more posh and updated, where they would get hired to do something for if a wrestler needed some help, they needed to get a couple of heavies, you would go and hire them.
Mm-hmm.
The other gimmick that they pitched was a Ponzi scheme, like a pyramid scheme cult. They were supposedly going to be two people, kind of like Schism, but they even had their own pitch meeting where they dressed up in cult clothes and they showed the pitch video that they gave to Vince McMahon on their Twitch stream. So that goes to show you they were really invested in getting things over for that tag team. And the fact that all of that creativity didn't go any further than those pitch meetings, it's sad.
The one that got me was the Pulp Fiction one. Like
Yes.
that Pulp Fiction do-over. Yes, that one was the one
Yes.
that got me. And I was so hooked on it, and I was just like, yo, these are great ideas. Why haven't these come into fruition? Then I
Yes.
remembered what Peep Snake once said to me about 3 years ago. If Vince didn't create it, you sure as hell bet your Betsy that it's not gonna be on the air. So hey.
Yes, exactly.
What a life. What a life.
Yes, yes, what a life.
So
and here we stand. All of these guys, all of this talent,
gone.
Gone.
So here's the thing, guys. I hope that all of these individuals that I just named, I hope that they all find peace, they all find joy in their profession of, working as a professional wrestler, But beyond all that, I sit there and I speak so much upon the WWE. I speak so much upon AEW. And, the one thing that I have to say to most peeps is that the dark side of the business does suck. It certainly does. It's just, I don't know how to... Taekwon. I hope everybody except Top Dollar lands on their feet.
Wow.
You mean metaphorically or physically?
I think that's metaphorically and physically, based on that dive that Top Dollar did. That's what that reference is alluding to.
That's what I was asking for.
Yeah. I think that was the fact that Top Dollar kind of burned a lot of bridges in the back with his attitude toward the guys about coming across as being arrogant, et cetera, et cetera. And then having what we saw. And it also goes to show you that Hit Row was never the same once Swerve was released. Swerve was literally the glue that kept that group together.
That was the glue. Definitely. You're not wrong on that, peeps.
It's also telling that he's the only one out of the group that got cut. So that should tell you something.
You know what I'm seeing here? Remember, Buddy, Blake, Bliss, who stayed? Who's still there?
Yeah, you're right.
Enzo, Cass, Carmella. Who's still there?
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping it above 50 peeps.
Yeah.
Certain things yeah, those factions, especially when it comes to the tag teams with the female valet. I mean, I know there's probably another one that's probably still in my head, but I'm probably not even thinking on who it is. And easy. That one faction that Nikki Cross was a part of, Sanity.
Yes.
Eric Young, Killian Dane, and who else was it?
And Eric Young.
Yeah, Eric Young, Killian Dane, and somebody else. I don't remember.
I
know.
think it was Alexander Wolf.
Yes.
Was in that, I think. Yeah.
Yes. No, actually, yeah. And what's his face? Sawyer Fulton.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Peeps. Who's still there?
Mm-hmm. Although you wouldn't notice that Nikki Cross was still in the company because she hasn't really been on television in a while herself.
Exactly. So peeps, you know what? Maybe Ashante Diodatis only has a couple of months or years left, and then what? They make BFAB the next Bianca Belair.
Yeah,
it's prone to happening. I mean, for God's sake.
And I think she has a future in the WWE because if it's about in ring, obviously she's going to need work. But if she's going to be a valet,
a
manager valet, she can go places in that company as an on-screen talent where she's getting the wrestlers over, or she's getting into a competition where she's going to have to just rip you apart by saying something. I could see that.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Maybe they put her in the New Hurt business.
So how many women are we going to have in the New Hurt business? I just
don't know. You group everybody in the Hurt business and everybody takes everybody out. That's the way it's supposed to be.
You know what? Maybe so.
Make them a true faction.
Ah, damn. Jeez. We'll see, peeps. We'll see.
Yes.
As I said, with everything that's gone on, business is tough.
Yes.
But they do say business is business as well. We can't really bypass it. We can't get away from it. But
yes.
Damn, it's just one of those weeks where we're just gonna continuously hear and hear and hear. And I'm hearing that there's supposed to be more names today, and I'm not ready for it.
I would not be surprised. I think that this is literally a bloodletting. They're going to go and find a lot of the talent that they know they're not going to use. And to Tony Khan's credit, Tony Khan doesn't fire people. He allows their contracts to expire. This is TKO. They're dealing with a lot of real grown people as far as money goes. They're not going to use you if they have no use for you. They're going to cut, they're going to snip, they're going to release, and they're going to make sure that they put you in a little envelope, and then they mail you to wherever you got to go, and you deal with it that way. That's what I think should happen.
Just insane.
Yes.
Well, I guess, peeps, we'll continue to ride the storm.
Yes.
We're going to continue to, hope that the wrestlers, find their peace and, find their new home.
Yes.
In the next coming months. And, we'll wait on it. We'll wait on it. We're not doing that. We're not putting Cody in the Hurt business. No, this is not Owen Hart in the Nation, okay?
No. And no, Cody is not a nugget. Okay.
Guys, if you do get the reference, you would mean that Cody, he's calling Cody. Guys, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say.
There you go.
You know what? No. You know what we're gonna do? No, I know exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Because if you remember, you saw this once on WCW Nitro, and this instantly turned into a meme where they kind of saved it. Hold on, just give me 1 second. I'm getting the photo. Peeps. You're going to laugh. You are going to laugh your butt off. Hold on. Oh, snap. Yup. This is what we're talking about here. I'm sorry, I had to. I'm sorry. Listen. You get the memo, peeps.
Yes.
And the fact that it's Hulk Hogan spray painting it as well just doesn't make it any more safer. Like, jeez. They caught it at the right time too, peeps. I mean, for God's sake. But Yeah, Cody ain't nowhere near that, bud. You know what?
Yeah.
He is not the next Dr. Umar. Stop photoshopping the hats onto his head. Okay.
Yes.
Stop putting that shikis on him. Okay. He is
Yes.
not that guy. He's not. Yes, he's married to his
Yes.
sister, but he is not that guy, pal. He is not that guy.
Okay. There we go.
But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that marks the end of Saturday afternoon's main event. Ah, damn, peeps. What an episode, bro.
Yeah.
Mercy.
2 hours, 20, was it? Let's say 23, 24 wrestlers cut, 100 staff members, and 6 I digresses. That's what we had this week.
Definitely so. Definitely
that
so.
kind of show.
One too many, peeps. One too many.
Yes. Yes.
It happens. The Feudal says, thank you for the house. Another good show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it, man. You know what? I'll be less offended if Cody said Dendor.
Oh, brother.
Oh, God.
On that note. On that note.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But on that note, yes, this was the mid-season finale. We had a lot of scat to cover today. We got it off our system. Now we'll be taking our hiatus. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. And, you know, of course, when we come back, there'll be more scat to attend to. A lot more I digress this piece. What are we at now? I'm gonna go for the record.
We right now we have 6 this week, and going in we had 111. So we're right now at 117. Yes.
Yo, my eyes felt like they did the thing when Booker T had the cookies that Deborah made when The Rock was coming from the Alliance. You know what episode I'm talking about where he just had
yes.
Like, honestly, like, yeah, I just got stomach poisoning from here in 117. But wow. You know what? It's okay. I digress. Damn it! Damn, bro! Why does this happen to me? Jeez.
Yes.
But, guys, we appreciate you. We thank you. We're going to take our hiatus. When we come back, we're going to be better than ever, as always. We appreciate you guys for listening the same. We appreciate you guys for always, you know, bringing in your support, whether it be from the questions, whether it be looking at our reels, whether it be sharing them, whether it be tuning in on a Saturday afternoon to watch us here, give you laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. We appreciate you so much. 10 episodes down, 10 more to go for season 6. Then we'll move on.
Hopefully you were entertained based on the storm that's been going out for a lot of people up and down the East Coast. So if we were able to entertain you while you're staying wherever you are and staying safe, then we thank you.
Oh, of course. And, you know, guys, I know maybe you guys have had internet issues on your end. Not as bad as Peeps Nate while on the air today. But you know what? No. It happens. It happens. It's okay. It's okay. Because we still got through it. And I know they probably got through it too. So, guys, look. Whoever's in the Northeast, stay safe. Whoever's in any other way, shape, or form, any other side of the world watching us right now. Once again, we appreciate you guys. Stay well. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks for episode 11. And it's here on Saturday afternoon's main event. That the phenomenal one.
And I, the Peeps Nate, where we came.
We saw.
And in the words of the wise man, Paul Heyman, we conquered.
We conquered, ladies and gentlemen. See you in a couple of weeks. It's the phenomenal one. It's the Peeps Nate. It's Saturday afternoon's main event. Peace, love, farewell.